Today we're going to be talking about transversals and the angle relationships that are formed when you have a transversal line. So you're going to see that your doodle note should be really colorful today because you're going to want to use color coding and patterns to represent each special angle pair on the diagram. All right, so let's first talk about transversals. So a transversal is a line that intersects at least two other lines in the same plane. So if we take a just general look at our diagram here, we will see that we have this is our transversal line. All right, it intersects these two lines here. All right, you can also think of that as it's like a cut line. It cuts in two lines. Okay. There are several angle relationships that are caused by a transversal. So if you want, you can go ahead and highlight or color in that transversal so it's very clear to see where your transversal is. The first angle pair that we're going to be talking about are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are angles that slide along the transversals. Okay. Corresponding, you can think of that they are in the same spot on each side. So if we look here, and we're going to use purple dots to represent that. So in our diagram, we are using angles 3 and 7. So we see angle 7 here, and angle 3 is here. Notice they both have purple dots. They're in the same spot. Okay, you can kind of see that because they are both on the upside, I guess you kind of think of that as the two lines here, and they are on the same side of the transversal. All right, these are three more pairs of corresponding angles. We could have 4 and 8, we have 6 and 2, and we have 5 and 1. Okay. If you kind of think of it like as you would maybe a clock or something like that, they're in the same spot of your quad of angles here. Okay. You can kind of think of 6 is in the top, 2 is in the top here, 8's in the bottom, 4's in the bottom, 7's kind of on the right side, 3's on the right side of this quad, and then 5's on the left and 1's on the left here. So corresponding because they're in the same spot. Now, vertical angles, okay, we can get vertical angles from just two lines that are intersecting, but when you have a transversal, you just have more, okay, vertical angles. So, for example, we're going to color them with blue, and they are coloring 5 and 7. So here we have 5 and here we have 7, so you see this blue outline here. And their vertical angles, you can kind of think of that, and one way to think about it is like a kissing fish, okay? I just think, vertical has like that V here, and they're touching on the vertex, vertical angles. We also have 6 and 8. And we also have 2 and 4, those are vertical angles. And then 1 and 3, also vertical angles. So those are our vertical angles. All right, now we're going to talk about these two here, alternate interior and alternate exterior. So we didn't just give them random names. We call them alternate interior and alternate exterior for a reason. So let's look at alternate interior first. Alternate interior are two angles that are on opposite sides of the transversal, hint, alternate, opposite. So opposite sides of the transversal between the lines that are intersecting the transversal. That's where you get the interior, because between, you can also think of inside the lines. Okay. Sometimes students like to think of inside train tracks. Okay. Those would be alternate interior, and we're going to see that they're going to use the light green stripes for this. So one example of alternate interior angles would be 3 and 5. Okay, we see they're on alternate sides of the transversal. They're on alternate sides of the transversal. 5 is on the left side of the transversal. 3 is on the right side of the transversal. They are interior because they are inside these lines here. Okay, if you think of this as a train track, they're inside the train track. Another example of alternate interior would be 2 and 8. Again, they're inside the train track and they're on opposite sides of the transversal, left and right. Alternate exterior angles are almost exactly like the interior, but instead of inside the train tracks, these are going to be outside the train tracks. They're still going to be on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're just going to be on outside the intersecting lines. So they're going to use this red swirly kind of thing. So 6 and 4. Here's 6, here's 4. Look, left and right side, different sides of the transversal, and they're outside the train tracks. Outside. Okay. 1 and 7 are also considered to be alternate exterior angles because, again, they're on opposite sides of this orange transversal line, and they're outside these two lines. Alternate exterior angles. Okay. The last group that we have, kind of together like alternate exterior, we have same side interior and same side exterior. So the interior and exterior part is the same. The interior part means that it's going to be the same, on the inside of the train tracks. The exterior means that it's going to be on the outside of the train tracks. Same side refers to the transversal. It means same side of the transversal, but inside the train tracks. And we're going to use these blue swirls to kind of see that. So 2 and 5. So if I look at 2 and 5, we see that they are inside our train tracks. And look, they're on the same side of our transversal. They're both on the left side of this transversal. Another group of same side interior would be 3 and 8 because they're on the right side of the transversal and inside our train tracks. Same side exterior angles would be the same side of the transversal, but outside, exterior of the lines, okay, of the lines that are cut the transversal. So here's our train tracks. Same side exterior would be outside, so over here. And we see these green X's, okay, that's what we're going to use to signify this. So we see these two, they're on the left side of this orange transversal line, and they're outside of our train tracks. Another group of same side exterior angles would be 4 and 7, okay? They are on the right side of the transversal, and they are outside. Here are our train tracks, they are outside. So these are just different angle pairs that are created when you have a transversal line. So make sure your notes are colorful. You do want that color coding. You want that different pattern. You did not have to use the same patterns that we did, but there should be some coding with color and designs for those angles.